All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. This is the stage reading from Cold War Kids by Miranda, Giles. This is the winner of our Strike It Rich Prize for the Old Minor Children's Playwriting Contest. We had two winners this year. We had Nice and Slow from last week, and Miranda got our Strike It Rich Prize. Rich Prize. And we're very excited to have hosted Miranda here. And Miranda, have a seat. You have to stand up.
Seat.
I actually know Miranda from grad school. It had nothing to do, it was blind judging, so it had nothing to do with that. But, and let's have all our actors introduce themselves and the character they are playing.
Yeah, I am Nick Varney, and I'm going to be playing Mr. Harlan.
I'm Callie Doyle, and I'll be playing Chrissy Mitchell.
I'm Christina Wilson, and I'll be playing Gianna Mayfair.
I'm Angela Waters, and I will be playing Lulu, Jenna's mother.
I'm Kaylee. I'm just reading the stage directions.
And I'm Mahanrai Stewart. I'm the playwright in residence here at the Noorda, and I directed and have helped dramaturg this production. So without further ado, we want you to share this excellent play with you, with its really relevant messages, and we'll leave it to it. All right.
Cold War Kids. There are 3 acting spaces: Gianna Mayfair's bedroom, the Mitchell's back step, and Mr. Harlan's high school history classroom, all in Lancaster, California, a small town between Los Angeles and Edwards Air Force Base. The action moves fluidly between these spaces. Action in the classroom often includes invisible students. The set can be arranged to involve audience members as additional students. Between some scenes, a screen projects the date along with images, headlines, newsreels, and other material pertinent to summarizing the progressive escalation of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Act 1. On screen, Monday, October 15th, 1962. Media of a U.S. spy plane discovering missiles in Cuba. Lights up. Gianna and Chrissy sit near each other in their 9th grade history class. Mr. Harlan in the aisles passing out papers and giving reminders, speaking directly to the audience as if they were invisible students. Gianna is doodling while Chrissy ignores her, listening to Mr. Harlan.
As a reminder, Ms. Mitchell, well done, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Harlan.
Our year in history fair.
Gianna placing Gianna's paper face down on the desk without comment.
Will be Monday the 29th. That's 2 weeks. There's been plenty of news around the world this year, so don't just pick whoever shows up on Johnny Carson tonight. I really want you to do some investigating. Yes, Miss Mayfair?
Are we still allowed to work in partners?
If you choose to work in partners, you will need twice as many references, and you're typed. I know, but you can use the new IBMs in the library, 2 cents a page. Your typed essays must be 6 pages instead of 3.
Gianna tries to connect with Chrissy, and Chrissy ignores her.
And those essays are in addition to the presentation boards you create to be displayed at the fair.
Bell, noise of a classroom packing up.
Late work will not be accepted. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Gianna and Chrissy pack up and begin to walk home.
Another perfect score?
Surprise, surprise.
How about you? I thought I would like history, but I don't think Mr. Harlan has any imagination.
History doesn't take imagination, Jana, just facts.
Well, maybe if you helped me like I asked you to.
Hey, don't blame me because you were too busy reading some dumb book to do your homework.
Wuthering Heights is a classic, and I had to finish it before Monday because Doreen needed it back.
For classes? If she's reading it at SC, why bother reading it now?
And she's not reading it for school. I don't think she started classes yet. And anyway, 2 words, Chrissy. Heathcliff. He's not in the flesh like Mr. Harlan, but we can't all be teachers' pets.
Oh, come off it, Jan. Just because I do my homework.
You never cared about history until this year, when we happened to have Mr. Harlan. Remember how much you hated Mrs. Robertson?
That was 4th grade.
And anyway, do you want to come over for dinner tonight? We can work on a report after.
I don't know. Mother wants me to.
Is your dad coming back yet?
No, not yet. He said probably this week.
That's good. Well, I mean, I know you love him and all, but at least it's quieter, right? When he's not there.
Right. Well, I guess we could get started on the report. I've got a few ideas for news stories. But Jana, you have to do it too. It's twice as much work if we do it together, and I'm not just going to do it all for you.
I know. And my mom's making baked potatoes. Your favorite, right?
Yeah, I guess. Hey, have you ever tried fondue?
What?
Chrissy smiles half-heartedly and walks away. Jana calls after.
5 o'clock!
Lights out. Lights up. That evening, Jana's bedroom. There are school books and records scattered around the floor. Chrissy is looking through a newspaper or Time magazine. Jana reads from a copy of 17. A record of the original Broadway score of Camelot plays on Jana's record player.
Number 4. Your best friend tells you about her new secret crush. Do you A, take her secret to the grave? B, try to drop some hints the next time you see him? C, tell all the other girls he's off limits? D, ask him out yourself? Come on, Chris, which one?
I don't know, Jan. What do you think? Bay of Pigs or Aurora 7?
This is important. I need to know what kind of friend you are.
I don't think you need 17 to tell you that. You've known me for 10 years.
10 years? No way.
Yeah, we moved in when Paul was born, and he just turned 9.
10 years? That's crazy. Most adults don't even have a best friend for that long. So, A, B, C, or D?
I don't know. Can we get back to work? I like the space shuttle, but I think Mr. Harlan would like Bay of Pigs.
Who cares what he thinks? Remember, we're dropping out in a couple years anyway. And we're going to get jobs and share an apartment in the city.
Right.
Just answer the question.
Fine, I choose B.
You would not. What was B? You would not drop hints the next time you saw my crush.
Well, why not? If you like him, don't you want to do something about it?
It says it's a secret crush.
Do you have a secret
You
crush?
know, but if I did, you better not tell anyone. Just like I won't tell anyone about you and Warren Beatty
She
Harlan.
throws a pillow at her.
Jana!
Jana grabs the pillow, turns the music up, and dances with, singing along to Robert Goulet's If Ever I Would Leave You.
If ever I should leave you, Warren, it wouldn't be in summer. Warren, see you in summer outside of school.
She enters in the middle of this, shouting over the noise.
Chrissy, that was your mother on the phone. She says it's time to come home.
She turns down the music as Chrissy begins to gather her things.
Did you girls get anything done on your report?
Well, it wouldn't be in summer. I would never go.
I get it. Listen, if you girls can't buckle down and work on this report together, you'll have to do it separately. Chrissy, be sure to tell your mother I missed her terribly at the PTA meeting. It wasn't the same without her sweet tea. And of course, I missed gabbing about everyone else with her.
As Chrissy stands, Lulu looks over her well-developed figure with a smiling disapproval.
Good grief, girl. You think you're about done growing yet? Not much room left in that sweater. You'll have to lay off the potatoes from now on.
Well, I'll see you later, Mrs. Mayfair. Thanks again for dinner. See you at school, Jan.
Chrissy exits.
That girl better watch herself. It's trouble when you don't look 13 anymore.
Almost 14.
And going on 19 by the side of it. Speaking of, it's your birthday in a couple of weeks. Got your Anna anything special?
A color TV?
Our television is just fine. And you watch too much of it as it is. Anyway, here's an idea. How about a ladies' day the weekend before? You, me, and Doreen. We'll skip school, drive into the city, pick up Doreen, have a fancy brunch, and do a little shopping. So you can have something nice to wear to school on your birthday.
Do you think Doreen would come?
Well, I can invite her at least.
I don't think she will. She's got classes on Fridays, and she didn't want to come with us this weekend, even for the beach. We're still going, right?
Yes, the boat race is still on, like every year. I don't blame Doreen for avoiding your father's 6th annual Santa Monica Regatta, but she'll want to come for your birthday. She's your sister.
Don't bother her. She's really busy with school.
Well, I'm sure she can get her schoolwork done better here than that nasty apartment with 3 other girls.
Fine, invite her. But shopping? Does it have to be shopping?
This would be special shopping at a special ladies' shop. I think it's about time to get you fitted for some real support instead of those little girl undershirts.
Mom, are you trying to punish me on my birthday? Bra shopping. That's cruel and unusual. It's not my fault I've had the same body since kindergarten.
Well, I'm just trying to think of something nice for us to do together as women.
How about a movie? Can I bring Chrissy? We could do a sleepover Friday night.
I'm not taking you girls out of school to go to the movies. Good grief, I tried to do something nice for you. Well, get this mess cleaned up. I'll call Doreen.
Yes, ma'am.
Lulu exits. Jana begins picking up. She finds 2 copies of their history book.
Mom, Chrissy left her book. Can I run it over to her?
No, you can get ready for bed like I told you. Give it back tomorrow.
I'll just send the signal so she can call if she sees it.
Jana moves to the window. Using a homemade system of sewn-together color-coded flags, she changes green to yellow.
DEFCON 1. Call me.
She opens the books to see whose is whose. She finds a card addressed to Chrissy inside one of the books. She opens the card. It's a fancy birthday party invitation. She is visibly annoyed and disappointed. Lights out. On screen, Tuesday, October 16th, 1962. Media of XCOM gathering and beginning strategic planning. Lights up. Classroom.
Thank you, Jim. We're all very grateful for your granddad's service. It was really great of him to let you bring in those medals to show us. Yes, Jana?
Did you win any medals when you were in Korea?
I was awarded a few ribbons, yes.
You told us you would tell us about Korea sometime. Did you kill anybody?
Jana!
It's all right. You aren't the first person to ask me that. War isn't an easy thing to talk about. It's not something I like to go back and think about.
The bell rings. Nobody moves.
I saw a lot of death, and not a lot of reason for it. Let's leave it at that for now, all right, Jana? Tomorrow we'll keep looking at the roots of the Great War, pages 78 to 84 tonight.
As the class leaves, Chrissy moves to talk to Mr. Harlan. She turns in an assignment. He touches her arm and exits. Chrissy watches him go. Jana notes the exchange while she quickly checks to see if the invitation is still in Chrissy's book. Chrissy returns to get her things.
Now you'll never wash it again. Better watch out, teacher's pet.
What?
Looks like your crush on Mr. Harlan isn't a one-way street after all. Better watch out for a head-on collision.
Oh, don't be gross. Warren isn't like that.
You're not serious.
That's his name, isn't it?
Are you serious? He's 28. Old enough to be your dad. He said so.
It's only 14 years. My parents are almost 10 years apart.
Well, your mom wasn't 12 when they met.
I'm practically 14.
That means when he was our age, you were practically born. Gross! Hey, did you see my signal last night?
No, I guess I didn't notice. Why didn't you just call me?
Just your book. I mean, I guess it didn't matter. You got your book back, so DEFCON 0, right? No threat. Oh, I heard Barbara Ferduccio is the snob, is having a party next week. Can't believe she stole my birthday again.
It's not like you're having a party anyway, right?
No. My mom wants to take me shopping. Besides, now that Barbara's having a party, everyone else will be going to hers. What a jerk.
I mean, it's not really her fault for being born the same week as you.
Kind of. And you know that whole drama she's always going on about being premature and how the doctors think she wouldn't live? I take it as a personal insult. She's been ruining my birthday since she's moved here in 2nd grade. I think she does it on purpose. I bet her party will be really dull. Probably all of her parents and the super rich friends and all their snobby rich kids.
I don't know. I heard she's having a formal tea. It might be fun. You know, I've never been to one of those, and she hangs around with all those senior girls.
Sounds like a snore to me.
Did I tell you I got to know her? Sorta, Barbara, over the summer, while you were on vacation. She's not so bad one-on-one. She sits by me in English.
What do you even have to talk about with her?
I don't know. Nothing. I mean, it's silly.
What?
I think it's dumb.
No. What?
Well, we talk about Marilyn
Marilyn?
Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, you know, she died.
I know she died. I just don't know what there is to talk about.
It was tragic.
Sure, I guess.
See, I knew you wouldn't get it.
Well, I mean, sure, it's sad, but it's not like you ever met her. I don't want to see what there's to be so sad about. You didn't cry when your great aunt died last year. But because Marilyn Monroe was famous...
I didn't say I cried. See, I knew you wouldn't get it.
Okay, sheesh. Don't get so uptight about it. Anyway, it's not like Barbara's going to invite either of us, right? Yeah. I, for one, wouldn't go, even if she did invite me. Would you?
It'd be kind of rude not to, if she did. I wouldn't want to make those senior girls mad at me. I gotta get going. English paper due tomorrow.
Are you coming by to work on the report tonight?
I don't think I can. My mom... I'll signal you if I can.
Chrissy exits, lights out. Lights up, Jana's bedroom, same evening. Jana is supposed to be reading her history book, but she's distracted, looking out for a signal from Chrissy, and glancing at herself and her lack of a bust. In the mirror instead, enter Lulu.
Hey, I asked you to the table.
Mom!
Dinner's ready.
I haven't got anything in the mail this week, have I?
No. Are you expecting something?
No.
Lulu starts to exit.
Mom,
Yes.
do you think... When did you... I just wondered, do you remember...
Yes. Finish at least one sentence, please.
Well, I'm wondering how old you were when,
Lulu shuts the door behind her and starts tidying the room.
Yes. When I what?
It's just that Chrissy started more than a year ago, and I still...
When I was about your age. Right around my 14th birthday. Believe me, it's nothing to look forward to.
Oh, I know. But what about Doreen?
Honey, I don't remember. Honestly, it's a curse. Not even remotely enjoyable. Now come set the table.
Lulu pinches and then tries to kiss Jana on the cheek. Jana turns away from Lulu's kiss.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's stupid.
What is?
Chrissy got invited to some stupid birthday party and I didn't. And it doesn't matter. Those girls are dumb anyway. But she wouldn't even tell me about it. She lied to me.
Whose birthday party?
Barbara Fiducio, the snob.
But I thought you and Barbara were friends.
Mom, we not since the 3rd grade. You remember my 8th birthday party? How a bunch of my friends didn't come? Well, it was Barbara's birthday party. It was the same day, and everyone decided to go to hers because they had a pony or something.
And you hate her because she had a pony and you didn't?
I don't think she actually owned the pony, but anyway, she's a complete snob mother.
I see. But you still wish you were invited to her party. Well, don't be petty, Janet. It makes you ugly.
No, I wouldn't go even if I was. I'm just mad at Chrissy.
Oh no, the stove.
Lulu exits, lights out. On screen, Wednesday, October 17th, 1962. Media showing evidence of long-range missiles in Cuba. Lights up, classroom, they are taking a quiz. Mr. Harlan paces the room slowly.
Bolshevik. That's B-O-L-S-H-E-V-I-K. Bolshevik. And last term. Communist. Select the correct sentence that uses the term communist.
The bell rings.
Nice work, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your quizzes on the desk. I will collect them. See you tomorrow.
Looking over Chrissy's shoulder.
Pencil down, Miss Mitchell. You sure about that last one?
Castro's a communist, isn't that right?
I guess you'll find out tomorrow.
He winks at her and touches her arm or squeezes her shoulder, just enough to raise Jana's eyebrows.
Good work.
Chrissy bats her eyes at him, smiling. Jana looks on, not without jealousy.
Thanks.
Mr. Harlan retreats across the room. Jana gathers her things angrily.
I've been thinking we should definitely do the Bay of Pigs. He'll love it. What?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beatty Harlan. I mean, Mr. Harlan. Oh, please.
Don't be dumb.
I'm not the one flirting with the teacher.
Flirting? I wasn't.
Oh, Mr. Beatty, I don't know how you spell Castro. Could you show me?
Stop it, Jan. You're so rude lately. This is why nobody wants to be around you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind.
Who, Barbara? Thank goodness, because I'd rather die than have a total snob think I care about what she thinks to me, or go to her stupid party. Feel free to tell her that the next time you two are crying about Maryland together.
Please, Jan. Barbara barely knows you exist. You're such a baby sometimes.
Better a baby than a double D disaster. He only pays attention to you because of your chest.
That's not true.
You know it is. Even my mom thinks so. She said you better be careful where you aim those bazookas.
What are you, jealous? Does it make your little mosquito bites itch? You know what, Jan? You're a real jerk. Do your own stupid report and I'll do mine. And don't expect to come crying back to me when you can't do it yourself. Good luck.
Chrissy exits. Mr. Harlan is watching this last.
Fine! See if I care.
She exits with a hateful glare at Mr. Harlan.
Hey, what did I do? Monsters.
Lights out.
Monsters.
On screen, Thursday, October 18th, 1962. Media showing the Soviets claim that the new missiles are purely defense. Discussion of a blockade begins. Lights up, bedroom, night. Jana is furiously shredding through the newspaper with scissors.
Time for bed. Good grief, Go. What are you doing to Daddy's paper? I don't think the assignment was to make confetti. Well, you better get every scrap of that in the bin. I just vacuumed in here today. Hey, what's the matter with you?
Nothing. Just go away.
Excuse me? I don't think so, miss. You know better than to talk to me like that. Now, what is going on? Is this still about you wanting the curse? Because that is not worth crying for, I promise.
No, Mom, please.
Well then, why hasn't Chrissy been helping you with this project the last few days?
You were right about her, Mom. She's 13 going on 19. Even the teacher thinks so.
What does that mean?
Mr. Harlan can hardly keep his hands off her, let alone the way he looks at her. It's disgusting.
Jana, you need to tell me what happened. Did you see Mr. Harlan do something to Chrissy?
Well, yes, but I don't think really...
He touched her?
Well, he sort of, but, well, yes, but
Well, what happened?
Mom!
Jana, you can't say something like that and expect that I'm not going to want to know what happened. What? I need an explanation.
Well, he was teasing her about her quiz, and she started flirting, and he winked at her, and
And?
he touched her
How?
like this.
And what did you do? Did you talk to her about it?
Yeah, I told her she shouldn't be flirting, and she said she didn't, and she called me up. She wanted to work on the project herself, because Warren would like it more. Can you believe that? She called him Warren. I told her she better watch herself, like you said.
And you saw this. Who else saw it?
I don't know, everyone was leaving.
When did this happen?
Yesterday, after class.
Jana, you listen to me. There is a PTA meeting tomorrow morning. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'll talk to Mrs. Mitchell, but I need you to keep an eye on those two. You can't leave them alone. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Lights out. On screen, Friday, October 19th, 1962. Media shows the U.S. attempt to quarantine the island. Lights up, classroom. Jana keeps a watchful eye fixed on Mr. Harlan, who moves around the space, helping students. The bell. Class packing noise.
Good work, folks. Pages 85 to 90 tonight. Please bring up last night's assignment. And don't forget, you should be well on your way with your project. Just over a week to go.
Ah, I forgot the homework again. So, what are you doing this weekend? Hello, Eartha Chrissy. I said, what are you doing Saturday? Like I told you, we're going to the beach. Santa Monica. It's my dad's regatta, remember? You came a few years ago. Frozen bananas. You should come home with us, if you want. If your dad's not back or whatever. Oh, and you can sleep over.
This weekend?
Yeah, or next weekend. It's probably fine for both since it's my
I
birthday.
think I had plans.
This weekend?
No, next.
On my birthday?
Your birthday's the 30th.
You don't want to come to the boat race? Are you still mad at me
No, who's going?
for my birthday?
No, this weekend, the regatta.
Oh, My mom, my dad. My mom really wants Doreen to come, but she won't. She told my mom she had too much homework. I can't believe my mom still believes her. She's going to flip out when she finds Doreen's not even enrolled. Anyway, are you coming?
No, I can't. My dad will be home tomorrow anyway.
Well, what about next weekend? You're gonna sleep over, right?
Friday to Saturday?
Yeah, like every year?
I'm busy Saturday afternoon. I can't come shopping.
With what?
Girls, let's get going. I can't leave until you do.
It's just family stuff. You know, hang on, I gotta turn this in.
Chrissy goes to talk to Mr. Harlan. Jana, realizing it's just the three of them in the room, shouts to her.
Chrissy, don't!
What? Don't what?
Everything all right?
You shouldn't.
Do you need some help, Chrissy? I mean, Jana.
He reaches out to touch Jana. She pulls
Don't
away.
touch me.
Jeez, Jana, what's the matter with you? Don't be such a freak.
Hey, what's going on with you two?
Fine, do whatever you want.
Jana rushes out. Chrissy and Mr. Harlan look after her. They are left alone. Lights out. On screen, Saturday, October 20th, 1962. Media shows Robert Kennedy giving ex-com's recommendation to the president to strengthen the blockade. Kennedy bows out of meetings in Chicago by faking a cold. Lights up, bedroom, afternoon. Jana is in her bed in her nightgown. There is no signal in her window. Enter Lulu.
How you feeling, Charlie Brown?
Not great.
I know. Daddy's really sorry you couldn't go to the beach with him today.
Oh my gosh, you told him?
The bare minimum. You know, he has been living with a woman for 15 years. It's not a state secret, but the less said, the better for both of you, I think. Do you want anything? Lunch?
No.
Still in waves? Like someone is squeezing your insides?
Yeah,
Well, sometimes it helps to get up and move around, a little stretching.
I don't think so.
It won't be like this every time. Probably. When I first started, I remember I came home and told my mom, and Nan was there too. I came out of the bathroom and Nan walked up to me, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "You're a woman now." Then, right across the face.
Oh.
She said, "It hurts, doesn't it?" She was right.
Do you get used to it?
You do what you have to. Welcome to the great secret of womanhood. The pain and the mess are not the secret. Ignoring the pain and the mess, that's the secret. The world isn't going to let you stop everything for 5 days a month.
It should.
Maybe it should. At least this explains why you've been in such a mood for the past few days. I thought you were just turning into a brat permanently.
Oh.
How was the PTA meeting?
Just the usual. Kathy Mitchell wasn't there, but so no iced tea. But Elaine Driscoll, she told me that, well, I shouldn't say.
What?
Well, you are in the club now, I suppose.
Told you what?
She told me that Chrissy's father moved out a few weeks ago.
He's just on a trip. Why?
I'm sure I don't know how a marriage can just end, but I can't say I'm surprised. Ever since he got that promotion, he's been spending more and more time at the base than I just bet he got a new secretary out there. And Kathy, well, she never lost the weight after Paul was born. I've seen pictures. She really let herself go. It takes two to make a marriage work, you know. And now, all this mess about Chrissy.
What mess?
What you told me about.
About Mr. Harlan?
You haven't left them alone, have you?
I had to. Yesterday, just when class ended, they practically kicked me out.
Jen, I told you not to. We can't trust that man. She's your friend. I don't want to have to tell you what can happen between a grown man and a girl like that.
A girl like what?
Looking like that. Thank the Lord it's not you. If you look like that at your age, not that it's her fault, but with her father gone now, of course she's going to start looking for attention from other men. And Mr. Harlan, well, he's young.
He's 28.
Young enough. I had a friend just like her when I was in high school. She ended up in very serious trouble. Very serious. I need to call Kathy, make sure she's aware of the situation.
No, Mom, don't. Chrissy will know that I...
Well, of course I do. You think I wouldn't want to know if it was my daughter? You did the right thing to tell me, and Chrissy will just have to live with the consequences of her actions. If you're feeling better, Roy Rogers is coming on.
Exit Lulu. Jana gets out of bed and changes the signal in her window to an orange scarf.
DEFCON 2.
Lights out. On screen, Sunday, October 21st, 1962, media shows President Kennedy preparing to address the nation. Soviet Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko tells Kennedy that the Soviet Union is only giving Cuba assistance for growing crops and that the missiles are purely defensive. Lights up Chrissy's back step. She has pulled the corded phone out the back door to call her dad while arguing with her mom.
I have no idea, Mother! How many times do I need to tell you? I don't know what she was talking about. I'm calling him, all right? I know it's expensive, but he'll pay you back later. I need to talk to him. Long distance, New Jersey McGuire Air Force Base.
It rings and rings and rings. She looks to Jana's window. Lights out. On screen, Monday, October 22nd, 1962. Media shows UN Western allies rallying in support of the U.S. The general population is still unaware of any serious threat. Lights up, classroom. Mr. Harlan is preparing the chalkboard. Jana speaks out to the audience as if confidentially speaking to other girls in the class.
Yes, all weekend long. Ugh, it was so awful. And it still is, but not as much. It's not like you can stop the world for 5 days. But look, I'm not saying anything more has happened. I just don't need to tell you all what could happen. A man like him and a girl like her, I'm just telling you what I saw, and well, he touched her. Chrissy is my best friend, all of us. She's our friend. I'm not saying that it's her fault looking the way that she does. We just need to watch out for her. That's all. With her dad gone, she's going to be looking for male attention. Who knows what's happening at home? Her parents are always fighting, even in front of me. And I've never known anyone whose parents have got a divorce. Don't tell her I told you.
As the bell rings, Chrissy enters looking upset. She senses everyone's attention and quickly takes her seat.
Glad you could join us, Chrissy. Before we start, reminder. We are now 1 week from our history fair. Essays need to cite reputable articles only, and your presentations need to be ready when you arrive at school. If you have any questions, please feel free to see me after class. There will be no excuses. I also want you to know that I will be staying after school today if there's anyone who would like to speak with me privately. Chrissy, I'd like a word with you, if that's all right.
Chrissy nods. Jana turns in her seat and gives a knowing look to the audience.
I will not accept any excuses for not having your work done next week. Is there anyone who still hasn't selected a topic? Be honest, people.
A few invisible hands go up, including Jana.
Miss Mayfair, I thought you were working with Miss Mitchell. All right, then. Did you have any ideas?
Well, I was considering the Bay of Pigs.
I think that's an excellent choice. The Cuban episode is a great example for looking at a journalistic bias.
I think it's the most important story of the year.
I'm glad you agree with me. Why do you say that?
Well, everyone has talked about it
That's true.
a lot.
Why? Yes, Miss Mitchell?
Castro got to see how many people hated him. I just think it shows how creepy communism is. He got a lot of his people killed.
Well, that may be true, but it wasn't just his people. Most of the soldiers that came were killed from Guatemala.
Well, there you go. Even people in Guatemala don't like Castro.
Yes, but we're the ones who trained them. Our government sent those men and a few of ours to attack Cuba after saying he wouldn't get involved. The question is, then, is it right for America to use soldiers from other countries to fight a war by proxy? Proxy. Who knows what that means?
Instead of in their place.
Very good. So do we, as a powerful nation, have the right to pay poor Guatemalans who were killed or captured to take the place of American soldiers? Why is our government willing to send them, but not me, or your fathers, or your brothers?
But you don't want to fight in Cuba.
Exactly. Neither does anyone else I know. And all of this just a few days after President Kennedy promised on television that no American troops would go to Cuba.
So he lied.
No, he didn't. He just didn't tell the truth.
Well, I look forward to seeing your reports on these events next week.
But it doesn't have to be that story, right? It just needs to be something significant from the last year.
Affirmative.
So the death of an important cultural figure would count, right?
Such as?
Marilyn Monroe.
Sure. Now please open your books. We're moving on to chapter 6. Who can tell me what they noticed in the reading over the weekend?
Lights out. The bell rings. Jenna exits. Lights up. Class has ended. Chrissy confides in Mr. Harlan. He has a hand on her shoulder. As she speaks, Jenna stands just out of sight at the door, watching them.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just she cries all the time, and he hasn't called in days. Last time he did, he said he was going to the base in New Jersey, but no one will tell me where he is. He spoke to my mom, but they just ended up screaming at each other. I don't know what
This isn't your fault. There's nothing you can do. Just do your best.
Jenna exits. Lights out. On screen, Monday evening, October 22nd, 1962. Media shows the first few minutes of President Kennedy's address to the nation about Soviet missiles in Cuba. As he speaks, Jana, Mr. Harlan, Chrissy, and Lulu, facing the audience, watch with their televisions. This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba. Within the past week, unmistakable evidence has established the fact that a series of offensive missile sites is now in preparation on that imprisoned island. The purpose of these bases can be none other than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere. Ballistic missiles capable of carrying a nuclear warhead for a distance of more than 1,000 nautical miles. Each of these missiles, in short, is capable of striking Washington, D.C., the Panama Canal, Cape Canaveral, Mexico City, or any other city in the southeastern part of the United States.
Daddy!
Lights out. On screen, Tuesday, October 23rd, 1962. Media shows the wave of panic that washed over the U.S. Empty supermarkets, bomb shelters, etc. Lights up. Classroom. Jana and Chrissy face the audience, each speaking to different groups of friends. Their words overlap.
No, but my mom wanted us all to sleep in the living room
She
last
didn't
night.
want me to come to school today.
She's driving to LA to pick up my sister right now. Good luck in traffic.
Of course Paul has no idea what's going on. He's just a kid.
My dad had to calm her down. He asked her to take a sedative.
My dad said he's gonna stay back east for a while still. He might get to meet the president.
It should be decided one way or another by the end of the week.
I mean, how are we supposed to get any schoolwork done when this could be our last day on Earth?
My dad says anything happening here in California are really low. But then, we are so close to Edwards.
I keep hoping they might restation him here at the base. Then he could be home with us at least at night.
I can't believe we have school!
I'm thinking, what did Marilyn do on her last day on Earth?
The bell causes both of them to jump. They take their seats. Mr. Harlan enters hurriedly, upset.
Sorry to be late, class. I was just speaking with... As I think you all know, our nation is at a very tenuous moment. I apologize if I seem a bit preoccupied. As you can see, we are missing quite a few students today, but thank you for being here. Principal Rosenthal wanted me to remind you that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And that class will proceed as usual whatever happens, so let your friends know that they should be here tomorrow. I assume everyone was able to see the president's speech last night, or read it in the newspaper this morning? It would seem that these Soviet missiles could be on us any time. So we must...
On us? Mr. Harlan? I thought we were out of range. That's what my dad said.
Well, he's correct. Not us, but on Washington. It would be devastating.
Do you think they would want to take out the airport or Edwards Air Force Base?
Could be. But I think we have to put ourselves in the other side's shoes. What would Khrushchev have to gain from attacks here?
Mr. Harlan, is it true we have bombs in Europe, even in West Berlin?
I'm not sure about Berlin, but in Turkey, yes, Chrissy. That's true. And by all accounts, we have many, many more nuclear weapons than the Soviets.
So we have missiles over there, but they don't have any over here. So isn't it only fair? It makes sense to me that they would want their bombs on our side of the world since we have them on theirs.
Jeez, Chrissy, whose side are you on? Why don't you book a ticket and move to Cuba since you love Castro so much?
What I'm saying is, it only makes sense that they want to make things even.
Let's hope fairness is all Khrushchev has in mind, Chrissy.
But if we have so many better, faster bombs, they won't shoot first, right?
Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how many we have or they have, when it only takes one to destroy everything. And on that thought, let's get started on today's lesson. Page 95, please.
Lights out. On screen, Wednesday, October 24th, media shows Khrushchev refusing to remove the missiles from Cuba. He also accuses Kennedy of putting the world at risk of a nuclear war by ordering the blockade. Lights up, classroom. Chrissy faces the audience, speaking to the audience, to her friends before class starts.
Who told you that? Well, it's not true. He's obviously working in Washington right now. He called long distance on Monday night after Kennedy spoke to make sure we were all right. Seems like some people just might be jealous that my dad got a big promotion. Did I tell you that we were going to take a trip to Hawaii this summer as a family? Yeah, it's going to be so great. Barbara Fiducio, was just telling me all about it. Her family went last year. And as for the other thing, well, Mr. Harlan is such a great teacher. You know, he really cares about me and all of us. It's not his fault looking the way he does. I'd think I'd still like him even if he was 40, fat, and gray. Wouldn't you? I mean, who wouldn't? I don't know why Janice decided she hates him. Now she won't even get within 10 feet of him. It's like she decided she hates men. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, but Jan's been kind of obsessed with me for months. I thought she was just jealous at first, but now it's like she can't stop looking at me. I mean, do you think I asked for this? You know, she and I have been friends forever, but for a while now, she's been acting so weird. We used to have sleepovers all the time, but, well, over the summer, last time I went, we were awake talking really late, and she asked me if I don't want to gossip. I'll just say I'm not comfortable staying with her anymore. She asked me over again for her birthday, but no way.
Mr. Harlan enters. There's giggling. He's confused, but also oblivious.
Oh, hi, Mr. Harlan. How are you?
Hello, Chrissy. I'm fine. Please take your seats, girls.
Chrissy sits down. Jenna enters, leaving a wide space between herself and Mr. Harlan. She takes her seat, aware of the eyes on her. She glares at Chrissy.
Thank you for joining us, Jana, and please try to be in your seat before the bell rings. Maybe the world is falling apart out there, but the rules still apply in here. I thought we might start today with a little poll. There was one in the newspaper this morning that I found pretty interesting. So, by raise of hands, how many of you have heard the term World War III to describe the blockade? Okay, so 100%. And by raise of hands, how many of you think we'll be at war by the end of the week?
Lights out. Lights up, bedroom, the same afternoon. Lulu on a long corded telephone speaking to Principal Rosenthal. She has mostly empty wine glass in her free hand.
I'm sure that you are very busy right now, but as you have just said, the safety of my child and your other students is your utmost concern. So you had better be taking this very seriously. My daughter saw him with her own eyes touching Chrissy Mitchell last week, and now I'm sorry to say it seems that the situation has escalated. She walked in alone on them on Monday, and he had his hands all over her, embracing her. And if you think for 1 second that he has some kind of excuse because of that girl's, the way she looks, well, she's a child, just a child. So I want your word that you are going to give this your full attention, because I can promise you, I will not be sending my daughter into the classroom of some kind of pedophile.
Lights out. Lights up, bedroom late that evening. Jana is sitting patiently on her bed. Lulu enters with Chrissy, still in her school clothes. There's an orange flag on the window.
You know I don't like you girls being up this late, but I know you have some things to talk through. Chrissy, I hope you are still planning to celebrate Jana's birthday with us this weekend. Doreen will be here as well. You know you are always welcome here, especially when things get rocky at your house.
I'm afraid I can't, Mrs. Mayfair. I have a prior engagement.
Well, that's all right. Just know that you are always welcome here. We don't care what anyone else says about you. Just because your parents are giving up doesn't mean that we will give up on you.
Thank you.
Lulu exits.
What?
Thank you for coming.
Are you ready to apologize?
Me?
I cannot believe you. You want me to apologize? This is somehow my fault?
What, is it my fault that you're a liar? How is that my fault?
Liar, what are you talking about?
About everything. The party, stupid. Barbara.
Tell me you're not serious.
And your dad. You didn't even tell me.
I didn't tell anyone, Jan, but somehow everyone seems to know.
There you go again. You did too. I heard you telling Mr. Harlan.
What?
I saw you after school, hugging him. It's disgusting.
What, are you spying on me now? Following me everywhere? That's really creepy.
Wait, you're the one going steady with our teacher? And I'm the problem because I'm looking out for you?
Looking out for me. More like shadowing me. What are you, in love with me or something?
Excuse me?
I saw you looking at me when I was changing in the locker room. It's not normal, Jana.
I didn't.
People are starting to talk.
What people?
Barbara and the other girls. They talk about you like you're a freak.
They don't even know me.
But I do.
I'm your best friend.
Really. That must be why you've been a complete jerk to me for months.
You're the one who's hanging out with all those rich snobs. You hardly talked to me over the summer.
What do you want me to say? What do you want to talk about? Secret codes from cereal boxes? And what you want to dress up as for Halloween? Howdy Doody returns? Reruns? I don't care about that stuff anymore.
All right. Now all you care about are dead movie stars and politics. Choi, you think I didn't notice that you stopped coming over as soon as Doreen moved out? She doesn't care about you, Chrissy, more than Barbara cares about me. But I'm your friend, Chrissy. I'm your best friend.
Look, Jan, it's not my fault.
What's not?
That you haven't grown up. Look at you. You're still in here sending secret signals, braiding your doll's hair and singing Camelot. You're still a little girl. Grow up, Jan. Take my advice. Don't come to school tomorrow. Barbara has been saying some things.
You mean you've been telling her some things?
If you are there, it's going to be really easy for them to give you a hard time. I don't want you to get hurt.
It's too late for that. Thanks, though.
Exiting.
Fine. Do what you want.
Lights out. Act 2. On screen, Thursday, October 26, 1962. Media shows increased military activity in surveillance of Soviet movements on Cuba. Shots are exchanged over Alaska. Some members of the president's cabinet push for quick action. Lights up, bedroom, morning. Jana is hidden under her covers.
Jana! Jana Louise! Do not make me come in there. You've missed the bus, and if you make your father late for work, that is enough, young lady. Up, now.
I told you, Mom, I'm sick.
And I told you, I'm not buying that. You think I'm going to let you stay home like a coward because you're afraid to take your friend.
Lulu throws back the covers, revealing Jana fully dressed for school. She raises her hand to strike.
If you don't get in that car right now, I'll turn your backside so black and blue you won't sit till Christmas.
I'm not a child!
You think you can talk to me like that? Because you're almost 14? You can take me on now? Boy, have you got something coming. Don't you have any sense? You know I can still take your sister, and she's a lot stronger than you. I guess you need to learn that lesson. Time to learn some respect.
You think that's it? You think Doreen respects you? She hates you, Mom. She lies to you to keep away from you. She's not even enrolled at SC. She's worked every day and night waitressing and living with her boyfriend, Carlos, trying to save everything she makes so she can stay away from you. I wish I could do the same.
Lights out. Lights up, Classroom, same day. Mr. Harlan is teaching. Chrissy sits straight up in her seat, book open out in front of her. Jana is slumped forward on her open book, face buried, a hand still gingerly touching her face.
All right, everyone, books away for the day. I've saved a bit of time for us at the end here to prepare for Monday. Reminder, tomorrow you may bring in your trifold displays if you have them ready early. I'll have some space cleared in the back for them. Now, I'd like with you to work in your partners to run through your presentations. Go ahead and begin. Yes, Chrissy? Let me guess. Already done with your report.
Not quite, but I'll have it here tomorrow. May I be excused, please?
You want the hall pass?
Well, I'm done for the day, so excused to go home, please.
I just can't let you out of school early. Why don't you help Jana out? Looks like she might not be quite as on top of things as you are.
No, I can't work with her. In fact, I'd like a different seat for class.
We don't have any empty seats.
I'm uncomfortable sitting here.
And why is that? Jana, can you tell me why Chrissy doesn't want to work with you? Sit up, please. Charming. I'm sorry, Chrissy, but if neither of you is willing to tell me exactly what seems to be the problem, I can't do anything to alleviate it. Look, girls, I don't know what's going on between you, but I'd like you both to grow up and get over it.
I bet you would.
Sorry? I didn't catch that. Do you have something to say now? I warn you, Miss Mayfair, tread lightly.
Chrissy, don't you agree with Mr. Harlan? If we all couldn't be a little bit more grown up, right? A shame we're just all a little too young, isn't it?
I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Miss Mayfair, but you are wasting valuable class time, so either get to work or get out now.
Jana gets to her feet, slamming her textbooks on the floor, and storms out of the room, whispers of freak follow her, and giggling. Lights out, the bell rings. Lights up, later that afternoon, Chrissy's back step. Jana appears, she is empty-handed.
Chrissy! Chrissy, I know you're there! You can't ignore me! Get out here, Chris!
I'm not speaking to you.
Did you tell them to do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about my bag. All of my schoolwork, currently floating in the fountain outside the library, thanks to Barbara and all of her pack of dopes.
Barbara wouldn't do that.
Want to bet? She stood there laughing while that ape Tim Carter grabbed it off of me, opened it up, and they threw the whole thing in the fountain. Said they were inspecting me for freak materials. All of my notes, Doreen's books, my homework!
You never do your homework.
Don't even!
I told you not to come to school today.
You think I had a choice? I was just hoping to have a black eye tomorrow so I can call the social services.
I didn't mean for...
Oh, spare me! Not a word! Just wanted to make sure you know that I am holding you responsible. And you're going to pay for this, Chrissy. I'll make sure of it.
Jana exits, lights out. Lights up, same evening, Chrissy is on her steps on the telephone with her dad.
It's so great to hear your voice, Daddy. I've missed you. Do you know when you'll be home yet? Oh. Really? How'd the school get a hold of you all the way in Washington? Then where are you? Oh. Lieutenant Fellows is still traveling with you. Yeah, she's nice. What did the school want? Well, it's silly, really. Where did you say you are? Travis, but that's near San Francisco. So you'll be home soon, right? Mom's been... Well, you didn't ask a question, Daddy. It's nothing, just a fight with my friend. Well, ex-friend. Well, today in class, she was really rude to our teacher, and then she's been acting like such a child. Honestly, I don't know why they called you. I hope they called her parents. Well, yeah, what about him? Mr. Harlan? No, he's a really good teacher, Daddy. You'd like him. When you get home, you'll have to come by the school and meet him. I've been doing really well in all of my classes this year. I know you always push me to try harder, So I've been working on it. So when you get home, you'll have to come to the school and meet my teachers, and they can tell you how I've... Uh-huh. Yes. I know. I love you too. I know, Dad. I know you love Polly too. Oh, Dad, did I tell you about his last Little League game? Okay. I'm listening. I don't want to say it. Okay. But, Dad, I mean, I know you fight, but you love her, don't you? You married her, and she's been doing really... What? Yes, I'm here. But you can't, Dad. But what about Hawaii? No, I mean, without Mom, it wouldn't be our family. Just you, me, and Polly? What about Lieutenant? Well, she is your secretary, isn't she? Will she be coming to Hawaii too? Well, I think if she's going to be traveling with us, I'd like to know. No, Mom can't talk. She's putting Paul to bed by herself. Maybe I do sound like her. Gosh, Dad, she's my mother. Who should I sound like? Anyway, I've got to go. This call must have cost a fortune already, and I have a really big report to finish. Yeah, okay, bye.
Chrissy exits, lights out. On screen, Friday, October 26th. Media shows the tensions at a fever pitch. Discussions about impending invasion of Cuba, certain outcome being war. Lights up. The classroom is dark and empty after school. Chrissy's report trifled stands towards the back. Jana silently slips into the room. She moves the display and picks it up.
The tragic death of Marilyn Monroe.
Unbelievable, Rosenthal! The whole world is falling apart and you think... Ah! Jeez, Jenna! What are you doing here? This classroom's off limits after school. Well, I asked you a question, and I expect an answer. Nope, never mind. We're going straight back to Rosenthal. Let's go.
He makes her take her arm and she jumps away.
Whoa, you're right. You're right. Kid, I'm not coming any closer. Okay? What do I do now?
He looks around and seeing the door, starts to retreat towards it.
I'll
hands
just
in the air.
be over here. Hey! Is anyone around? I need reinforcements!
I'm leaving.
Oh no! I need you to stay right there, please. Ted!
What are you doing?
Well, kid, I'm protecting myself from you. See, here you are lurking around in my classroom after hours when I've just spent a half hour being royally chewed out because your mother seems to think, nope, not gonna say another word. Hello? Is anyone coming? What are you doing here?
I left. I forgot my...
Maybe it has something to do with Miss Mitchell's report over there. There doesn't seem to be much else in my class that's of any interest to you. You didn't seem to have much use for your school books last I could tell. Where's a janitor when you need one? Listen, Jan, I don't think anyone's coming, so I need to level with you.
Okay.
First of all, and I mean this very much from the bottom of my heart, I don't care about you, or Chrissy, or any of your little friends at all. I don't. At all. My feelings for you are basically the opposite of care. In fact, I have to remind myself every day not to despise all of you. When I went to teaching, I thought, I like kids. Kids are good people. I can help them understand the world. But this is my second year of teaching, and you know what I think now? I think you're all a bunch of monsters. And I think sometimes, especially this week, you're all trying to kill me. You know why I don't want to tell you about my time in Korea? It's because I'm still trying to make up my mind about which part of my life has been harder. See, over there I knew I could die any day. But at least at first I was making the world a better place, a safer place for all you back here, right? By joining the service. And even later, I thought even if I did get killed, like some of my buddies, it'd be for a good cause. I kind of stopped believing that after a while. But then I had this dream about coming back home and how great it would be, and I would do something great to make the world a better place by using my brain instead of a gun. That's where I made up my mind to be a teacher. It gave me hope. And now I'm here, I'm back home, I survived, and I became a teacher. And I have students like you, and Chrissy, or Tim, or Greg, and I just want more than anything else to show you how big the world is and how small we are and how much there is for us to learn. The whole history of the world and how myopically stupid we are.
What's myopic mean?
See? There! That's it! You can't even fathom the depths of your own ignorance. And the world, Jana, the world is a mess. There are bombs pointing at our heads right now, and if we move just an inch, if we even breathe the wrong way, none of us will wake up tomorrow. And then the whole mess of the human race will be like it never happened. So what was the point anyway? But here I am. Hands above my head. Being held hostage by a 13-year-old girl who's told her mother that she saw me hug my student, who told me about her deadbeat father. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. What do you think? What should I do, Jana? You've got all the power here, so what's your advice?
I have to go.
She runs to the door. He dodges out of her way. Lights out. Lights up. Bedroom later that day. Jana sits on the floor, head in her knees, listening to the record of Camelot. It plays for a moment. She scratches the needle off, plucks up the record, and breaks it in half. She stands and throws the pieces in the garbage. She starts tearing around her room, tossing some of her more childish things. Lulu enters, watching for a moment.
Wow, bless my stars. I thought the only way you'd clean up this room was if I told you Candid Camera was coming over. Jana, look at me. Now, what happened at school?
Nothing.
That's not what Principal Rosenthal says. He says you had a one-on-one talk with Mr. Harlan today. Is that true?
Yes.
What happened?
Nothing.
Something must have happened.
Nothing. I swear. What I told you before about Christy, I was wrong. Mr. Harlan didn't do anything.
Well, he must have done something.
Nothing.
Then why did he quit?
What?
That's what the principal said. He called me to make sure you were all right and to hear your side of the story. He wants to know if you want to talk to the police.
The police?
What happened, Jan? Did he hurt you? Touch you? If he laid a finger on you...
He quit his job? The police?
Yes. Before he could get fired for being alone with another student, immediately after he was put on probation. What happened? Why were you in his room?
Mother, can we please not talk about this?
We absolutely will talk about it, Jana. I'm not going to stand by and let... You think... My job is to protect you, Jana. I need to know that you're safe. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just forget sometimes. Grandma was rough with me. And I know how it feels. I always swore that I wouldn't be like that. I swore. Good gracious, how does anyone raise teenagers? First with Doreen and now you two.
Lulu sits and puts her hands in her face. Eventually, Jana puts her arm around her mother. They stay that way for a moment.
We can go bra shopping if you want to.
Jana, I need you to swear to me that nothing happened to you today.
I swear, Mom.
You're still a little girl, Jan. My little girl. I know that you want to be grown up, but let me tell you, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. I thought being a mother would mean I would just know everything. But I don't even know how to keep my girl safe. Did you lie about Mr. Harlan? About Chrissy?
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell the truth.
That poor man. It's my fault, too. I should have called him myself. I'll call Principal Rosenthal back and see if we can undo this. Is the whole world going to fall apart? I'd like to live long enough to see you enjoy 14. Is that too much to ask?
Will it be better than 13?
Let's hope so.
Are we still going birthday shopping tomorrow?
Barring an act of God or the Reds?
Is Doreen coming?
I don't think so. She's working.
Did you tell her what I told you?
Not yet. I'd like to keep it to one crisis per day, if that's all right.
She notices the broken record, holding up the pieces, trying to fit them back together.
I guess it couldn't last forever.
Exit Lulu, lights out. On screen, Saturday, October 27th, 1962. Media shows the final negotiations are arranged between Kennedy and Khrushchev. Lights up, Chrissy's bedroom, early morning. Chrissy sits holding her signal flags and the red scarf showing. Jana enters. They are both in pajamas. There is a long silence.
I saw your signal.
Took you long enough.
It's 6 a.m. on Saturday.
I couldn't sleep. I didn't think you would come.
Well, I didn't think you were speaking to me.
My parents are getting a divorce.
Oh. I guess that explains DEFCON 4.
I think my dad and his secretary.
I'm sorry?
I hate him.
Okay.
And her. You know, I met her at the 4th of July picnic on base. She must be 15 years younger than he is. It's disgusting. And he just wants to act like everything is fine, like there's no problem with abandoning your wife and kids to start over again with some newer model. I can't believe this.
Look, yeah, your dad eats dirt and all, but are you really that surprised? You've been watching your parents fight your whole life. I've been watching them fight your whole life, and before he left on his trip, you said you wished he would never come back.
I know what I said, stupid.
I'm going back to bed. Have a great life.
Wait, I need to talk to you.
You'll have to call Barbara.
Jana, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for them to ruin your stuff. That was really childish of them.
You are the expert on maturity with your 28-year-old boyfriend. Look, don't bother apologizing. If you're worried I'm plotting revenge, well, I'm not. I just want to forget the whole thing.
I'll buy you new books or whatever.
No, it's not that.
Then what?
He quit. Mr. Harlan, he quit his job yesterday. Or kind of got fired.
Wait, what?
Well, he said he didn't really like being a teacher anyway.
What are you talking about?
I snuck into his room yesterday and kind of tried to kidnap your stupid Maryland report. I didn't. She's fine. Well, she's dead. But, you know. I wasn't going to destroy it. I was going to take it home so you think it got lost, and then I was going to bring it back and act like I found it so we could be friends.
Like I wouldn't realize it was you who took it in the first place.
Oh. Well, anyway, Mr. Harlan caught me, and he told me that he hates being a teacher and that the world is pointless, and I left, and then he got in trouble because we were alone together, and he assumed that I would tell my mom, and he didn't want to get arrested because he was already on probation with the school because of you.
Because of me?
So he called Principal Rosenthal and quit. I feel awful about it. We talked to Principal Rosenthal last night, and I told him that nothing really happened with you two or me. But he said it's too late, and he said, I never liked that commie sympathizer anyway. So, he's gone.
Gone where?
How should I know?
He quit because of me?
I don't know. I think it was more of the war, actually. Cuba.
This whole thing is bullshit!
Chrissy!
It is! My dad, your mom, Mr. Harlan, the war, all of it!
Yeah, and I still have to go bra shopping today. You want to come?
Doreen will be there. Jan, I'm going to Barbara's party.
But
Snog.
why? Right. So I guess. Well, I better get going.
Chrissy approaches to hand over the signal flags.
Here, this is yours.
Just keep it. You know, just in case.
They shake hands awkwardly. Jana turns to leave.
Oh, and Jan! Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Jana exits, lights out. On screen, Sunday, October 27th through 28th, 1962. Media shows the end of the crisis. Khrushchev agrees to remove the missiles from Cuba if Kennedy promises not to invade. Kennedy agrees to remove U.S. missiles from Turkey. A direct phone line between the Kremlin and the Oval Office is installed to ensure future ease of communication. End of play.
If you could stay, we would love that. If you